All right, we are back once again, and once again, it is mock draft time. But this time, instead of one round, we are doing 2 rounds. So, of course, let's get this started right now with the first pick in the Cincinnati Bengals. Of course, you have all the rumors. The Carolina Panthers are going to trade for the first pick. It ain't happening. Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow is basically a lock. And it's basically the same with the Washington Redskins at number 2, as there has been some rumors that they're trying to trade the second pick probably to some team like Miami, but I don't see Miami doing that, and I don't see the Redskins trading back from Chase Young, the best player in this draft class. At number 3, this has been the big spot where people expect a trade back for Miami to trade up, but I personally don't see it happening. I honestly don't think there will be a trade up in the top 5. I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one, though. But at number 3, it's basically down to Jeffrey Okudah, Tua, or Isaiah Simmons, maybe Derrick Brown, maybe even see them go Jedrick Wills, but I see it right now. Jeffrey Okudah is the pick right there. At number 4, we could see them go linebacker and Isaiah Simmons, or it's basically down for me between Jedrick Wills and Isaiah Simmons. Knowing Dave Gettleman, though, he's going to go with Jedrick Wills. The big mall hauler, that's what he likes, and that's what's going to fit in his system. At number 5, Miami, Tua, tank for Tua worked. Thank God. Let's move on. Number 6, we got the number 3 quarterback going off the board, Justin Herbert. Herbert is an interesting prospect for me. I think he's good, but I also think he's not. He's got a lot of the work on, and I think he'd be a decent quarterback in LA with the Chargers. At number 7, we have the Carolina Panthers. I used to have this penciled in. This is basically Derrick Brown's spot. Now, though, with Luke Kuechly retiring, I think Isaiah Simmons is a big contender to take the spot over. And my opinion, linebacker's a lot more important of a position than defensive tackle. And with Matt Rule coming in, being the defensive coordinator, he can do a lot with that. So I'm going Isaiah Simmons here at number 7. At number 8, we have Derrick Brown still on the board, but we also have Jerry Jeudy or CeeDee Lamb that we could also pick. So who are we going to go with? That's the real question. I don't see why you'd pass on Derrick Brown. He'd be big difference for that defense. And we got a lot of wide receivers still working in there, like Andy Isabella, Christian Kirk, Hakeem Butler, and plus we still have Larry Fitzgerald for another year. So let's wait a year to get that key centerpiece attraction for my quarterback, Kyler Murray, in Arizona. At number 9, kind of sucks for Jacksonville Jaguars. Could possibly got Derrick Brown. Could pick Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, but I don't think wide receiver is that important right now for them. So you have Marcel Darius. I think that's a cut candidate, so you can keep Yannick on your team. And if you're going to cut Marcel Darius, might as well get probably one of the best defensive tackle prospects. Easily be the best defensive tackle in my personal preference about last year. But Javon Kinlaw has one of the most upsides in this draft class. So he goes here at number 9. At number 10, we have the Cleveland Browns. It's offensive line time. Tristan Wirfs, Mekhi Becton, Andrew Thomas. Who do we go with? I see Tristan Wirfs going here at number 10 to the Cleveland Browns. I think he's a little bit better than Andrew Thomas, and I think he'll be able to more plug-and-play start compared to Mekhi Becton, who we see go at number 11 right behind him. I think he has a ton of potential, and I think he could work really well with that Jets organization, being Sam Darnold's franchise left tackle for how many ever years to come. At number 12 now, we have Jerry Jeudy going. He's basically Antonio Brown 2.0 to me. With his crisp route running, the way he just moves, I just see a bunch of Antonio Brown in this game. And some people say Amari Cooper. I see a little bit of that, of course, too. But Antonio Brown 2.0, hopefully without the clownness going on. At number 13, it's either Jordan Love or CeeDee Lamb right now for the Indianapolis Colts. And they said they're going best player available. So if this what happens, is CeeDee Lamb. He's that big slot wide receiver guy you guys been missing. And he works on the outside really well. So I see CeeDee Lamb and Indianapolis Colts being 2 perfect fits for each other. At number 14, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are in a spot where they probably just need to go offensive line and get it over with. So I see him going Andrew Thomas at number 14, and honestly just makes a ton of sense to me as he can easily plug and play start over there in Tampa Bay. At number 15, we have Henry Ruggs going off the board. He's an amazing route runner. Probably makes better catches than what Jerry Jeudy does. Just Jerry Jeudy's like a little bit more technical found than him. That's why he goes after him most of the time. The other thing is Henry Ruggs is definitely faster. And then at number 16, we have K'Lavon Chaisson going to the Atlanta Falcons. Of course, it's down between him and Epinesa, but I see Chaisson as a little bit more valuable as a player to the Falcons, like a speed edge rusher compared to Epinesa, who's just like, he's not much of a speed guy, but he works better, like working inside moves, basically. But I see Chaisson to the Falcons. And then number 17, this is basically edged in as safety. We could see Grant Delpit or Xavier McKinney go here. I think Xavier McKinney's probably the better prospect, but Grant Delpit's that strong safety that Cowboys been wanting for years. So we see Grant Delpit go here at number 17. At number 18, we see Minkah Fitzpatrick 2.0 go to the Miami Dolphins and Xavier McKinney. It's basically, you basically traded Pittsburgh Steelers' first round pick for Xavier McKinney for Minkah Fitzpatrick is what basically just what happened. So that's that. Then we move to number 19, and this is going to be a linebacker pick. That's the Raiders' big need for last year and this year. So we see Patrick Queen go here. It's a very thin linebacker class, which helps Patrick Queen and Kenneth Murray in their cases. I don't personally think they should be going this high, but we do see them go here. At number 20 now, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I see them going Christian Fulton out of LSU here. They're looking for that star replacement for Jalen Ramsey, who basically needed to leave because he wanted out. So we get his replacement here in Christian Fulton. At number 21 now, we have Laviska Shenault going to the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the Eagles could work really well with Shenault. I think they'll be able to bring out the best in him. Even though they aren't the best developers at wide receiver, I think they can do a lot of different, unique things with Shenault. At number 22 now, we have AJ Epinesa going to the Buffalo Bills. I see Buffalo as key, this is a great spot for Buffalo to land Epinesa, and I see it as a great big win for them. At number 23 now, we have the New England Patriots, and I see them going Yetur Gross-Matos out of Penn State. Right now, he's a late riser coming up and showing, a lot of people are predicting him to go top 15 now is one of the most recent reports. So that's looking good on his part, but he falls to the New England Patriots, which I think is a great landing spot for him to go to. At number 24 now, we have the New Orleans Saints, and I see Justin Jefferson going here. He'd be a great person to have across from Michael Thomas, in my personal opinion. I think he should do really well across in that system with New Orleans Saints, of course. And it should be fun to watch for us fans. Then number 25, we have the Minnesota Vikings, and I see them going Jeff Gladney here at number 25. He's just a Mike Zimmer cornerback, basically. He's physical, loves to tackle. It's a one-on-one. I love this pick for the Minnesota Vikings, and I think it makes so much sense. At number 26 now, we have the Miami Dolphins, and I see them going with Josh Jones. He has a bunch of upside, and it really makes a lot of sense for the Miami Dolphins to be taking him just because of that upside and what he can potentially come into. At number 27 now, we have the Seattle Seahawks, and I have another late riser coming in here in Cameron Dantzler. He's been going upwards here recently. I've been a fan of him for a while now. He's 6'2". He fits that Seattle Seahawks cornerback stand up. You're tall, you're physical, you're able to play some zone. He'll be a great corner in that Seattle Seahawks system. At number 28 now, I have T. Higgins going to the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore's missing that tall guy to go up and catch some passes. They drafted one last year, but he didn't really technically work out for them. At least he hasn't developed into the player they maybe thought he was going to. So let's try again with T. Higgins this time, and at least gives us T. Higgins and Marquise Brown. That's a good wide receiver combo for me. At number 29, we have the Tennessee Titans. I have them going Terrell Lewis here. I think Terrell Lewis works really well with Tennessee. I think they're that edge piece that Tennessee is missing, and I think that's a really good pick for Tennessee and Terrell Lewis there. At 30 now, we have the Green Bay Packers, And I have them going Jalen Reagor. They're missing that speedy slot guy. That's basically what Jalen Reagor is. I don't expect him to be anything more. I kind of have him compared to Marquise Brown as last year, where they can run, but they don't do much else. At 31 now, we have the San Francisco 49ers, who are just in a prime trade down spot. But I'm not trading down in this draft. Otherwise, I think this might be the one exception though, because I want to see San Francisco pick more. So I'm going to trade this pick. So we're going to have the 49ers just trade down real quick with the Atlanta Falcons. And the Falcons are going to give away a second and third round pick for this. That got denied. So let's try this again. The Falcons are going to get rid of their second and first round picks. And the Falcons will end up picking a cornerback. And the Falcons are going to end up picking a cornerback because, if you know, they were missing a cornerback basically. It's something they need very badly. I don't know where to go with this though. You have Noah I, Trayvon Diggs, Damon Arnett, C.J. Henderson, Jalen Johnson, Bryce Hall, A.J. Terrell. All of these make sense to me, but I am going to go Damon Arnett because I think he's the most technically sound of right now. And right after him, I have Noah I going because I think Kansas City Chiefs would be a perfect spot for him to go to. I think he worked really well in that defense, especially with the speed that he has being a forward track runner. And I can't wait to see him race Tyreek Hill. And then at 33, we have the former LSU offensive lineman center go to his teammate QB Joe Burrow, and you keep those together. There's some great chemistry there, so it's a good match right there. At 34, we have Jordan Love going to the Indianapolis Colts. He's basically penciled into the Colts. Some people have him go in the first round. Some people have him early second. I think he's an early second round quarterback. Maybe he goes late first. Maybe that's where the Colts have to move up and go get him. But for right now, 34 for Jordan Love is a great spot for the Indianapolis Colts. At 35 now, we have the Detroit Lions. I see them going, with the way this board has fallen, I see them going with Kenneth Murray. Kenneth Murray is a great player. I don't love him in particular, but I think he'd be really good with Detroit Lions, who are just missing that linebacker piece right there. At 36 down, we have New York Giants, who I think will go with Marlon Davidson out of Auburn. He's basically what you guys just traded for, and now you're letting, I can't remember his name right now, but you're letting that dude go. And, like, if you look at the comp of Marlon Davidson, 6'3", 297, that's basically what the same thing was for, I think it was Leonard Williams. So he'll play some edge right there, basically plug in what you guys just lost on Leonard Williams and a third-round pick, which kind of dumb on your part. At number 37 now, we have the LA Chargers, who I can see going Lucas Niang or Cesar Ruiz. And I see him going Cesar Ruiz. I just see Cesar Ruiz as a little bit more technically found and a little bit more potential than what Lucas Niang is. And I think he's the better pick for the Chargers at this current moment. At number 38 now, we have Neville Gallimore going to the Carolina Panthers. So you lose out on Derek Brown, but in the process, you get Isaiah Simmons and Neville Gallimore. I think that's a lot better 1-2 combo than what Derek Brown or and what else you would get. So I love this pick for the Carolina Panthers. I can't wait to see these two players play together. At number 39 now, we have the Miami Dolphins. Once again, I see him going with J.K. Dobbins. He's the best running back in this class, at least to me. And I see him going right here at 39 to the Miami Dolphins. At number 40, we have the Arizona Cardinals. We could go wide receiver here, but once again, I don't think that's a viable need here in the second round. I see it as a more third round, fourth round need for them. More than likely third round. But at 40, we will go with Lucas Niang, who I think can be a great offensive tackle and a good blindside protector for Kyler Murray for the future. Now at 41, we have the Cleveland Browns, and I see them going Ashton Davis. I love how Ashton Davis, I kind of compared him a little bit more to Jabril Peppers. He's just that scrawny little kid, but he also plays like true power. And I just love him going to the Cleveland Browns. At number 42 now, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. And personally, I don't know what to do with the Jaguars here. But you do have DJ Chark, who's kind of that big slot guy already. So let's get like a little tiny guy to go next to him. And if we're going to go tiny, might as well go really tiny. So let's go with Brandon Ayuk out of Arizona State here at number 42 to Jacksonville Jaguars, who's he's been graded higher than N'Keal Harry, who went in the first round last year. At number 43 now, we have the Chicago Bears. I see them going Matt Hennessy here at 43. It's just, O-line's a big need for them. And I see Matt Hennessy being probably the best player out of that position right there. At number 44 now, we have the Indianapolis Colts. And I have them going with Bradlee Anae. I think Bradlee Anae is a good player. And I think they have, right now, decent edge situation. But I think Bradlee Anae could take that edge situation to another level. At number 45, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They will go Jacob Eason, taking the last of like the big name quarterbacks off the board, basically. Could see him trade up in the late first round to go get him, but I don't think he's on that type of talent yet. But at 45, we see him go Jacob Eason. At 46, we have the Denver Broncos, and I see Denver Broncos going with Trayvon Diggs. I think he's a good fit for that organization, and I think he'd be a valuable player in the Denver Broncos organization, of course. At number 47 now, we have the San Francisco 49ers, and I have them going with Jalen Johnson out of Utah. I see Jalen Johnson as basically Richard Sherman 2.0. So if you're trying to get a Richard Sherman replacement, why not go with him? I think this is a great player to have with the 49ers. At number 48 now, we have the New York Jets. And I see the Jets going with Joshua Uche. I have Uche valued a little bit higher than Zach Bond in my books. And I think he'd be a better player for the Jets than Zach Bond. So that's why I have him going instead of Zach Bond. And now I have Zach Bond going to Steelers right after him. I think you have that Wisconsin duo on the end between Zach Bond and T.J. Watt. That's going to be a deadly combo for years to come. This is where I see the first tight end coming off the board right now is Bryson Hopkins to the Chicago Bears. I think he'll probably be the only one to go off in the first 2 rounds. And for someone like the Bears, this is a good pick for them. At number 51 now, we have the Dallas Cowboys, who I think they'll go with C.J. Henderson out of Florida. He's more of a man-to-man guy, and you're losing your cornerback in Byron Jones right now, so let's go get his replacement in C.J. Henderson. At 52 now, we have Curtis Weaver going to the L.A. Rams. Get Aaron Donald that help he needs. Curtis Weaver will help drive some attention his way so Aaron Donald can start getting more to the quarterback. Curtis Weaver might be more of a distraction piece, but he'll play a valuable role in that defense. At 53 now, we have the Philadelphia Eagles, and I see them going with Kyle Duggar here. I don't see any quarterbacks worth the pick at 53, but Kyle Duggar I see as a big piece. I can see him filling in really well for that defense. He can play strong safety or linebacker or maybe even free safety. We'll see at that next level. At 54 now, we have KJ Hamler going to the Buffalo Bills. Sadly, Brandon Ayuk was already picked, so I went with the second best wide receiver here for the second round, and KJ Hamler. I think he can be used very well in this Buffalo Bills offense and get Josh Allen another pass catcher. At 55 now, we have the Atlanta Falcons once again, and I see them going with Jonathan Taylor here, getting the replacement for Devontae Freeman, who's more than likely either going to get cut or leave sometime here in a year or two. So might as well get that running back that you can lock down and be trustworthy with for another 4 years. At 56 now, we have the Miami Dolphins once again, and I see them going with Isaiah Wilson out of Georgia. Isaiah Wilson is a great offensive tackle in the making. He just needs another year to develop. Personally, he probably should have stayed for another year, but he left. So let's see how this works with Miami, and let's see how well Isaiah Wilson can be in a year from now, because I think he'll grow a lot as a player. At 57, we have DeAndre Swift going to the Houston Texans. It only makes sense. He's a great player. Houston's probably going to have to trade up for him. I don't see him falling this far, but since this is basically no trades, except for the one exception I made for the 49ers, we have DeAndre Swift going here at 57. At 58 now, we have the Minnesota Vikings. I see them going Ross Blacklock out of TCU. This Ross Blacklock's a great player, but I think Minnesota can even take him to the next level, and I love this pairing between the two. At 59 now, we have the Atlanta Falcons. And I see the Falcons getting their Josh Gordon type replacement in Denzel Mims. So you'll have Denzel Mims, you'll have DK Metcalf, and then you have your speedster, of course, also. Then at number 40, we have the Baltimore Ravens. This is the linebacker needed situation. So we see Malik Harrison going here to the Baltimore Ravens. I think he can be taken to the next level with that organization. At number 61 now, we have the Tennessee Titans. And I don't know where to go with this, quite honestly. We could go tight end, and I could see that working out pretty well. We could also go interior offensive line, interior defensive line, offensive tackle maybe. I don't know where to go with this. I'm quite honest. I'm lost for words. But I think I'm just going to go right now with the way this board fell. I see Justin Mawake. I have a hard time pronouncing his name. Going right now 61 to Tennessee Titans. It fills a big need in your organization. So that's where he'll go. At 62, I have Prince Tega Wanogga going to the Green Bay Packers. You're about to lose Brian Beluga, so get your replacement right now because basically you've already counted him out of your organization. At 63, I have Clyde Edwards-Helaire going to the Kansas City Chiefs. Damian Williams did well in the Super Bowl, but he wasn't consistent all year. I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire works perfectly in that Chiefs offense. He's that pass catcher. He's the power running back. He'd just be everything that the Kansas City Chiefs look for in a running back. And now at 64, I have Raekwon Davis finishing off this mock draft for the Seattle Seahawks. And I think Raekwon Davis has a lot of potential, just needs it to be taken out of him. And I think the Seattle Seahawks are the team that can do that. So, that is my 2-round mock draft right now. Of course, this is probably going to change after the NFL Combine, which is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, look forward for another mock draft right after that. And, of course, if you guys have a suggestion for another video, make sure to put that down in the comments below, as I may end up doing sometime here in the near future. And, of course, make sure